Welcome back to another video, guys. Out here with the truck. We do have it back. We've had it back for a couple days. Ran into a couple issues, and it has to do with the ground cable. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out on more to come. Alrighty, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll put it up here in the top. Usually if something happens during the day, I post it on there. But we were driving, pouring rain, 55 miles an hour, and the truck completely died, shut down, lost power steering, lost the fuel control unit or fuel pump or something like that. It was giving me a low fuel warning. Truck would not restart. I could get power to it, but it would just crank and crank and crank and just wouldn't go. Ended up having to tow it with the Tahoe to get it out of the street. And then we got power steering back. It started back up, and unfortunately it took the dealer a week before we could get it in. Now once we got this truck into the shop, it took them about 2 or 3 hours. They lifted it up and they started playing with the wiring for the rock lights. Once they started playing with the wiring, the truck started to act up, and they wanted to blame it strictly on my rock lights. And the funny thing is the rock lights have not been plugged in for probably 10,000 miles or more. We've never had any issues. The rock lights themselves do not work. We never got them fixed. That's a whole nother story time. For some reason, when they jiggled that and what it was mounted to, which was the main wiring harness, the truck would start acting up. Now, they tried getting into saying for some reason it was my fault, blah, blah, blah. I got under the truck with the technician, which the technician was very nice. He was awesome. We get under here, we go through everything, and we come to the conclusion that it's just impossible for anything in the main wiring harness to have any issues whatsoever. So we started looking around front to back, and I came across a bolt that was loose, and that bolt just so happens to be a bolt that holds the main, one of the main ground cables on. Now he said that there were 3 main grounds on this truck. I'm not sure if that's correct or wrong, whatever, but our main ground just so happens to work the power steering, work the fuel pump, and it is right behind your passenger side wheel. We got everything tightened. He didn't say that he saw any marks. I didn't loosen it, so we don't know how it got loose, but for some reason it did. And once we got everything tightened up, we had 0 issues with the truck. Now, that did not explain, and we couldn't figure out why, when they jiggled the rock lights, which are zip tied basically to the main wiring harness, why it would trigger the truck. Once we got the ground cable hooked back up, we could jiggle it and we didn't have any issues. But my thought is that he was just moving the truck enough when he was shaking it that it was actually in turn shaking that ground cable. And it just goes to show you that something so simple and so small, a bolt vibrating loose or anything like that, can totally wipe out one of these trucks. So she's back up and running, everything's fine, we're back in business. I showed you a picture of the ground cable. Maybe check yours, maybe it was just a fluke thing on mine. We don't know, but it was found. It didn't cost anything. Dealer took care of it, which was awesome. We do have some stuff coming in the next day or 2. There's going to be a giveaway coming, so make sure you stay tuned. I'll be posting that on Instagram and on this channel as well. So if you have a truck and you want to win something, I will be announcing that here pretty soon. So other than that, we'll leave you here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you later.